Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. What's up, dudes? I'm Erin.
I'm Nicole. This is Dude That's Fucked Up. Ooh, and isn't it today? Isn't it?
Isn't it? It surely is.
I think it is.
I do declare.
Oh my, there's a lot of fuckery happening on this episode.
Oh. I need to fan myself. I have the I don't know why we're still going on like this.
Oh, God, no, it is really bad. I just think it's going to be very fun because the person we're talking about's dead, so we could shit all over them.
Oh, and they're the biggest piece of shit you've never heard of.
Yep, love it. Ugh. Wow.
I have some aggression to let loose, I think.
Yeah.
On this,
I can't wait.
This garbage person. Mm-hmm. But before we do that, let's ease into it a little bit.
Yeah.
How are you? How's everybody? What's going on? Mm-hmm. You know, what's the latest and greatest, guys?
Oh yeah, I just want to know. I want to know how everyone's summer is going. I want to know how many hot dogs every person has consumed thus far. I want to know if people are getting enough time off work to enjoy the summer, because now that we're adults, and like, you know, you kind of like lost what summer was. But you still got to find time for it.
Yeah, when you work in retail, especially, like I was just thinking about this the other day, like how horrible it was that we never like got weekends off and holidays or anything, so we had no sense of like the change of seasons or well, we did, but that was only because we would get like the seasonal things in. You weren't like like the seasonal merchandise. You weren't like appreciating the fact that like, because you couldn't fucking go outside because we worked so much. I feel like I worked so fucking much.
Yeah, like there's shorts in the store now. I guess it's summer now.
Yeah.
But although I feel like I was living my best life during that time period, because like while I did work hard, I was partying super hard.
That's true.
And so I knew it was summer because I was wearing fucking halter tops and just letting it all hang out and going to pool parties and like just lake days, and that was the fun part.
So fun.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. It's like, well, also just adults in general, you know, it's like you don't really get a summer. You don't get a summer like you did when you were a kid, and it's such a bummer.
Yeah, that's true. It's like once you get into the rat race, all the magic floats away.
Yeah, that's sad.
I know, but I hope some people are enjoying their summers so far.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Despite work.
Yeah, I am, because it's been very mild here in Long Beach thus far.
How nice for you.
Uh-huh. I'm already making a date with my friend at your pool.
Amazing.
I'll run that by you later.
Yep.
And I just like it's been nice. Oh, I went to like a park concert by where you're gonna live. That was very fun. God. We ate cheese and drank wine. And
bitch, you're killing me here.
I know.
It's literally 100 degrees here in DC with 1,000% humidity. It's like when you walk outside, it's like you can't even breathe. It's so oppressive and awful. Like you can't go outside. It's like dangerous to be outside. Like you instantly soak through your shirt.
Ew.
With sweat. And I like have to take Jack places when I like go outside and run errands. So I don't have a car. I have to like fucking walk everywhere. So I ain't going outside, bitch.
No.
I ain't going outside. We're
playing inside today.
Yeah. Sorry, kid. And speaking of which, I apologize in advance if the air conditioning kicks on and it's loud, because usually it's fine, you know, over the course of recording, and I don't need to like blast it, but it is so hot out that it just is going to probably kick on so that he doesn't, die of heat in his room.
Yeah. Because you're in the basement area, which is, or like it's like a basement-ish
Yeah.
level. But like, so it's cool probably, or down there. But like, he's
it's
upstairs.
Cooler. Yeah, he's at the tippy top, so.
Yeah, gotta
Poor
keep
kid.
him cool.
Yeah, so sorry for my air conditioning, but it's necessary.
Oh, yeah, we have to save that baby child.
Yeah, and I guess that's my fucked up of the week is just it's fucking hot, man.
All right, well, let's transition to my fucked up because it is.
All right.
I'm just waiting for this.
Oh my God.
Have you seen the Cats trailer?
No.
Let's have you watch it now, and then I would like to hear your reaction.
Okay. Here goes. I have it pulled up.
Great.
Oh my God. I don't want to see this, I don't think.
Oh, you for sure
It's
don't.
over 2 minutes. Christ. All right, it's loading. Give me a minute.
Okay.
Oh, God. Right away. Bitch! What the fuck is this? Oh, my shit. This cannot be. Somebody needs to be fired. So many people, not just fired, but put in jail. Oh, God. Oh, I can't watch this shit, man.
No, you have to watch through it.
I can't watch anymore. No, James Corden just came on. I can't watch anymore.
Who just came on?
James Corden.
That's the part when I was watching it where I just went, ugh.
I'm done.
All right, you're not missing much else except maybe like Taylor Swift a little bit and more Jennifer Hudson scream singing.
Oh, God. I don't even have the words to express how fucking dumb this shit is to me. Like, I've been reading, like, because I've been seeing it all on social media, like people losing their minds over Cats. And it's like theater people are like, I cannot. And so I don't feel bad in like expressing my sheer disdain and, my just overwhelming rage that this was made into a movie.
Well, listen, you don't have to feel bad because everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and it looks like atrocious.
It's like disturbing to me watching this right now. Like it is like upsetting me. I don't know why. It's like that like anthropomorphized cat like on naked bodies that is
on like
really,
sexy bodies, like because it's like leotard.
Yeah.
And it's meant to be sexy. Also, they must CGI the tails because the tails move like a cat's tail, but like that couldn't happen in a costume. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
this is all like CGI. Like they're all, like when they're filming this, they were all on a green screen with those fucking dumb green suits on with like the balls all over them the entire time. There's no sets. It's all fucking green screen.
But you don't think they wear the costumes? Do you think they paint the costumes onto them after?
I think it's all CGI.
Oh, I think there's some hair and makeup. Maybe.
I mean, maybe their faces, but like, it's,
Oh my God.
I don't know why this is so upsetting to me.
No,
I
it's
hate
upsetting. Also on the tail, pun intended, of The Lion King and how bad that looks, like physically how bad that looks. It is like, how are we all out here excited for The Lion King because it has like the best cast of a Disney movie of all time. And then I see actual footage from the movie and I'm like, how did this get made? Like how it's I don't understand what's happening. And also, I'm sorry, but I fucking love Beyonce. She's great. She's a singer. That Spirit video is very moving and it's a great song. And I just like love everything she's about. She cannot act. Like, that's a fact. That's just a fact. Like it's wild. And I don't understand how someone that talented can be like reading lines so blandly.
Yeah, I think like it depends on what she's in. I feel like she could probably do some sort of acting in a different,
like Like, put her in Cats.
Bitch. I just, this is, yeah, man.
But yeah.
I don't know.
It's wild. But I did want to share a tweet that I saw this morning, which I just thought was so funny about James Corden. It's this guy, Matt Apodaca he's like a UCB like talent. He's in a lot of shows at UCB, and he I think is a producer on the Earwolf Network.
Okay.
But he just tweeted today, I think it's a little odd that we just let James Corden do everything.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, why is no one pushing back? Why aren't people pushing back?
Like, he's fine. He's fine. He's just like, I don't get why I don't know.
Oh, he's like,
is it because he's British? I don't know.
Maybe. He's like Perez Hilton to me in the way that like he really wants to be liked and like be part of like celebrity culture, and it's like very apparent.
He's like very try hard.
Yeah, and he's like, I need everyone to like me, and I want to like everyone, and I want to be in everything, and just like, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
What are you going to do? It's like he's a fucking late night host. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's fine, but like
Jimmy Kimmel's the only good one.
I love Jimmy Kimmel so much.
Yeah.
Also, James Corden's fat suit in Cats is like,
what?
Wasn't he wearing a suit? Like a fat cat suit or whatever?
I literally just clicked off of it as soon as he came on, so I barely saw it. Because it goes, his dumb fucking top hat wearing cat comes on. Like, dude, I cannot. And it says James Corden, and I'm like, nope,
bye. We're done here.
He just like, as if that shit is not cheesy and corny enough, they have to have James Corden in it to just like up the, like it just like blew past camp into just like lame as fuck. I don't know.
Yeah, just like, how do we stop this?
Yeah. Ugh, gross.
It's the Chernobyl of films. And James Corden is the fucking meltdown. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, who let this happen? It's like every little thing had to go wrong for him to get into this film, and it did. And now we're all like, oh no.
Oh God. Well, there goes humanity.
Yep.
That meteor can't come soon enough, I'm telling you. 2020. That's who I'm voting for.
The meteor?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, let's see. God, should we start talking about this fucking bullshit? I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're very excited about today's topic. We actually stumbled into it through.
Yeah, you did. It was like you found this like horrifying treasure. I don't know.
I mean, this is
like you accidentally stepped in a pile of dog shit.
Yeah, and was like, ooh, we got to talk about this. Mm-hmm, but it's like golden dog shit.
Yeah, because it's going to be fun.
Yeah. So sorry for this Patreon plug, but if you haven't checked it out, check it out. We do a bonus episode every month. There's like different tiers, and you can unlock different levels of additional content that we produce and put up there, and it's very fun. And so we were doing a bonus episode on I think anal bleaching, because we mentioned that in a recent regular episode, and that also led to vaginal rejuvenation, which is wild in itself.
Yeah, so we did a bonus episode on mostly on vaginal rejuvenation.
Yeah,
talked a little bit about anal bleaching, but you found this topic, this person that we're about to talk about while you were doing your research for vaginal rejuvenation.
Yeah.
So check out the Patreon if you want to hear that episode. It's we do like full bonus full episodes on our Patreon that are like adjacent topics or just completely different weird stuff that we haven't, like, maybe you're like, man, I wish I'd do a episode on this, and maybe we have, and you just don't know it yet. So, and we also do our Q&As, which are really fun. And
commentary episodes.
We've done all kinds of fun content. So
yeah,
it's cool. Check it out. But
So,
anyway, yeah.
yeah, this led to, I was also going to say the content is going to be fucking out of this world once we're actually physically together because we could do like more video content and stuff like that. So it's going
Yeah.
to be very fun.
Yeah.
Anywho, this dude. Okay, so we found this guy. I don't want to say he's like the godfather of vaginal rejuvenation, but he kind of is.
Yeah.
But just because like he was doing it and he was doing things. But anyway, we discovered this doctor named Dr. James Burt, aka the Love Surgeon, and that is today's topic. So, yeah, I mean, this guy is a nightmare, and we're gonna find out why. But he basically was doing vaginal rejuvenations before that was like an actual thing.
And I think rejuvenation is a misnomer. It's the wrong term. This is literal genital mutilation because
Yeah.
we'll get into why that is. I mean, it's pretty obvious he didn't know what he was doing, but let's just say this is one of the more fucked up things I've read about in a while.
He was doing vaginal remutilations.
Well, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it came from a place, I don't even think it came from a place of
No. This
anything.
fucking guy was reading the actual progressive work that like Masters and Johnson were doing and was like interested in what they were doing and then just like decided to do his own fucking thing. With no oversight from any fucking medical boards or like
Nope.
or colleges that fund this stuff or like actual research facilities. He just was like doing whatever the fuck he wanted with lady parts.
Yeah. I think he was truly a monster. I think his motivations were probably like rooted in hatred of women, probably.
Yeah, misogyny.
Misogyny.
For sure.
And yeah, he went unchecked for decades. He thought he was doing the Lord's work of making ladies and especially new mothers lady bits nice and tight, but he was really just a maniac mutilating women's genitals, truly.
Ugh.
And he was doing it for over 2 decades. So really, really upsetting. Dr. Burt was actively doing these surgeries for more than 20 years, starting in the mid-60s. And he did his like patented vagina tightening surgery on a lot of new mom patients without their consent. That is the most horrifying thing I've ever heard of.
Because he was basically masquerading it as like an episiotomy post vaginal birth, and then he'd be like, okay, but little do they know he was doing things down there he shouldn't have been doing, and it caused some problems.
Yeah, and just like to clarify, like an episiotomy is like a pretty passe thing to do. It's only like done in extreme circumstances. They used to do episiotomies like all the time, and that's when you basically snip the taint to get the baby to come out easier.
It ain't coming out. We gotta snip it.
It ain't coming out. Yeah. Well, it used to be thought that it would prevent tearing, but it's actually like if you're having a normal vaginal delivery, your body should be able to accommodate, and you're gonna tear. So I tore.
Oh god.
And they just stitch you back up, you heal up, but it's rough. But with an episiotomy, like it's kind of like they're just snipping it for you. But kind of a passe thing. It still happens, but it just depends on the doctor. At any rate, this is not what he was doing. He was not doing episiotomies. This was a whole other.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was like under the guise of that.
Yeah, he claimed that's what he was doing initially, but then it just like it really, really kind of spiraled out of control into something else.
And look, like we wouldn't know that he was even doing this except that eventually, of course, he wrote a book.
Ugh. Of course.
And his book was called Surgery of Love. And in that, he claimed one of the like motivating factors of this, I guess, is that this is a quote, women are structurally inadequate for intercourse. This is a pathological condition amenable by surgery. So he was like, oh, like women's bodies weren't made for intercourse, like heterosexual intercourse. But actually, as a surgeon, I can actually fix this. So,
sir, I beg to differ.
If this isn't the most narcissistic thing I've ever heard in my goddamn life.
I mean, maybe he didn't have some bad sex. Somebody he was with had some bad sex and told him, you're bad at sex. And then he just really took it as a personal mission.
Right. He's like, no, it's not me.
It's not me.
It's
it couldn't
your
possibly
body.
be. Yeah.
And also every other woman's.
Yep.
He said, I can't.
This is so fucked. I know.
He felt the clitoris was in the wrong place and never led to orgasm.
Again, sir.
I'm like, sir, did you even know how to find one or what one looked like?
I don't think he did, truly. This man, just because you can become a doctor doesn't mean you're intelligent. It just means you read all the books right and did good on tests. Fuck you.
I feel like maybe his wife had an innie and he just fucked that. Like he just like fucked her belly button. Do you know what I mean? And then she was like, I don't think I like this. And I don't even know if this is right. And he's like, shut up. I'm a man. I know what's up. And this is right. And why aren't you getting off on this? And she was like, oh, I have
Doris,
to fart.
this is your fault. Yeah.
Doris.
I don't know.
Oh, God, what an idiot. Also, he felt after childbirth, women lost some of, if not all of, their ability to orgasm as a result of their vagina becoming too loose post-delivery, claiming that women's vaginas were, quote, large enough to drive a truck through sideways, end quote, after childbirth.
Okay, fuck this guy off this planet. Just, God, I hate him so much.
Fuck him off this planet with his own awful dick. Into space. Space fuck him off this planet with his bad dick. I don't want to hear from
galaxy. I hope he gets fucked by an alien and turned into, I don't know, space dust. Fuck this guy.
I hope everything's done to him that he thinks should be done to women, and he is mansplained into the heavens, baby. Bye-bye. Oh, this is all your information, sir. So why don't you fuck off into space with it?
You know, I think I need to make your pee hole large enough to drive a truck through sideways, you fuck. God, I hate him.
Men don't know how to pee right. Clearly, it's all over the floor every time I use the men's bathroom, which I've started doing because I don't care. It's a fucking toilet. Also, why is there piss everywhere, all over the goddamn floor?
You fuck.
You fucking animals. Specifically this one. All right.
Well, I'm just wondering, though, like, the first thing that came to my mind was what and how, because how is this man a doctor? What is he doing practicing medicine? He began his medical career in 1945 when he graduated from the University of Rochester Medical School. Apparently, and I didn't know this until I found this at the last minute, he was neither a fellow of the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, nor was he certified by the American Board of Obstetrics and Gynecology. So was he even a OBGYN? I don't even know. Nope. He was just a doctor.
He was a bus driver.
Yeah.
Like he got off the street.
He got his medical license, but he wasn't like specifically trained in obstetrics. Like he wasn't like under that umbrella, apparently.
Well, I think that just means maybe you're a specialist, which he definitely should have been if he was doing all this shit to like these ladies' vaginas. But
right.
But I get it, I guess, because like that makes me think, oh, my primary doctor isn't overseen by that board, probably because she's like a regular.
But she could still do like a pap smear or whatever.
Yeah, she could still check under the hood, make sure the levels are, All good.
Make sure your titties are on straight and your
Yeah.
vagina's pumping out whatever it needs to pump. I don't fucking know.
Make sure she just sticks the oil stick in there and pulls it out and goes, "Yep, looks good. Levels are good." And then she pulls out that little tire, the little blows a little air in there. Make sure they're, it's like how they like blow air into your pupils and it goes, whoop, and then it's like your eye health. It's like make sure the pressure's good down there.
Bitch, I don't know what's happening at your gynecologist, but that doesn't sound quite right. Oh my god.
Sounds quite wrong, actually.
Oh man. Well, not only is he not a fellow of all that shit, he's definitely not a goddamn surgeon. He just started doing all this between 1954 and 1966. He began experimenting, essentially, with his own techniques of episiotomies. So he was just kind of, a woman's vagina was his canvas, and he just went to town. And
he was really Jackson Pollock, because this bitch was fucking
a mess.
He was. It's like after he was done, you'd look at it and be like, what is that? Like, what is that supposed to be?
Like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
What does this represent? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He was doing all kinds of stuff that was like just not sanctioned, it was not good. It was all bad.
Oh my God.
It's supposed to be very straightforward. Like you make a small snip and then you sew it back up, or like if it's a big enough incision, sometimes it's not that bad, and it doesn't need to have anything special done to it, but you do need to put a couple of stitches in there sometimes. Like I had stitches after I had the baby, and like it
needs to heal.
It needs to heal. But he was doing some other stuff with this.
Oh God.
He was stitching up the opening of the vagina like more than it needed to be to quote unquote make it smaller and tighter.
Oh my God. No, just leave it how it was.
Why would you do that?
It's like I don't want that.
Nobody wants that. Nobody asked for that. Nobody wanted that. That was the thing. Nobody said anything. They were like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Nobody did that. Not even the husbands. Like, no. And also, like, that's just not how it works. Like, you do something like that, and it's like your body creates scar tissue, and things can happen, and you just don't. It's not good.
Also fragile down there, like it's just fragile. So
yeah.
Okay, but this is my question, because this is something else he would do, and I'm like, how? Why? Yeah. He would build up the skin tissue between the anal opening and the vaginal opening to alter the walls between the rectum and vagina. So was he like making the butthole canal bigger? Like, was he like moving a wall, like how you move a wall in a house to make one room bigger and one room smaller? Was he making like the butt canal smaller or wider, and then the vaginal canal tighter?
I'm trying to like understand this. Like, as somebody who's had their, vagina and rectum wall actually like
adjusted.
And sewn. I think, it's...
You had some work done. You had there was a mechanical problem. They had to go in there. That's what I'm saying. That's
yeah.
They took the air pressure, and then it's like, and then they put it up on they put it up on a riser. They look in there. They're under the hood. They're in the back. They're under the whole thing.
I mean, I did have a lot of air put into my like pelvic cavity.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's how they like make room for everything, and like
Wow.
And another thing that happens, and it happened to me when they put air inside of your abdominal and like pelvic cavity, is it can push on a nerve that's like in your diaphragm, I think, and it makes your shoulder hurt. I had the worst thing that I felt after my surgery was this excruciating pain in my shoulder from this nerve,
Oh my God.
like pressing on this nerve from all the air that was like in my stomach
I
or in
bet you
my.
that's like a medical trick. It's like, oh, we don't, because there's like so much going on down here. They're like, let's make her shoulder hurt.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. It was excruciating. I
Oh
remember
my
like I
God.
woke up and I was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about any of this shit but my shoulder. And they're like, it's fine. And I'm like, bitch, it's not fine.
Oh my God. That's what I'm saying. They're like, you know what? Wink, wink.
Yeah.
But in a good way. It's like,
But in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We'll like trigger this nerve so that her shoulder hurts. And then she's not worried about her vagina.
Yeah. Well, so I'm trying to understand like what the fuck he was even trying to do. I don't know. Maybe it's like to keep it very separate, but like I don't know why you would do anything internally like that. It's so strange. It's very, very strange why he would do that.
Oh my God.
And another thing he would do, this is like really awful. He would remove the hood of a patient's clitoris to expose it, thinking it would enhance the pleasure of sexual intercourse for them. No. That's like, oh my God. Oh my God.
That's fucking like genital mutilation.
Well, and it's like not removing the clitoris, it's removing the thing that protects it because it's very sensitive. It's like
taking someone's eyelids off.
yeah. Or like if you're a dude, it's like those memes where people post on like Twitter like when she keeps sucking after you nutted. Have you ever seen those? And it's like a face where it's like because it's like painful,
So sensitive. Yeah, it's like
very
so
sensitive.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Oh
like
my God.
when you're like your chonies like go up your vagina,
Yeah.
like and it rubs. It's like that times a million constantly without your clitoral
yeah,
hood.
yeah.
That's like what he was doing.
Oh my God.
Like you couldn't walk, you
Yeah.
couldn't do anything.
You couldn't ride a bike. You couldn't. Yeah,
you sure as shit couldn't have sex. Like
no. You'd
oof.
have to like sew a really tiny zip up hoodie to wear on it.
Oh.
You'd have to get it a little helmet.
Oh.
A little clitoral helmet.
Oh, poor little
to protect it.
Ugh.
Like how some babies have to wear helmets? I don't know
Yeah.
why. Like
because their heads are flat.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then it like smushes their head into being round?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I thought it was because they had like a giant soft spot or something.
No, they all have giant soft spots. So
That's true.
It's so like sometimes the babies like when they sleep too much on their back or like in a certain position, it gets all like mushes their head a little bit and they have to wear a helmet. Yeah, I know. It's like a little apricot.
Oh my God. Well, this guy didn't stop there. He would also reconstruct women's genitalia, changing the angle of the vagina's opening in order to move the vagina closer to the clitoris, which, all right. So he like cut up. Oh God, what a fucking shit face.
Oh my God.
He would, what? He would direct the labia majora into the vaginal opening.
What?
Okay, Google
fuck?
Maps. Like, you can't just, like, fucking make a new route. You can't just fucking, like, decide to make a shortcut.
This is so absurd. Like,
Oh my
I don't,
God.
what is this man doing? What is this man doing? Yeah. And he just did this. Like, it started with, like, literally after he delivered a baby.
Uh-huh.
He just, like, another thing that he was doing also, which this is like the most fucked up thing to me, is he would get these patients who were kind of like, scared of whatever childbirth situation or whatever, thing they had going on with them. And he would get them to this point where they were totally reliant on him. I mean, he was like their comfort and he was like, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure your childbirth is super painless. And he'd basically just knock them out. Like he'd give them like major anesthesia and they just like basically pass out and then they'd wake up 2 days later and they'd have a baby. Well,
Oh my God.
Yeah, like this is how they used to do it, was they'd like put women to sleep
Oh my
essentially, and then you'd have your baby. But it's like really dangerous. You like need to make sure your heart rate's constant and that you're able to work with your body to, push the baby out.
Yeah, how do they push it out if they're unconscious?
They like pulled the baby out with like
Oh my
forceps
God.
and shit.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Jeez, that's brutal.
And it was because like women, it's childbirth is brutal, but like this guy was like, I promise you're not going to feel any pain. And anytime you're like, great, that sounds great.
Of course.
You're just willing to do whatever. And you trust your doctor. You trust that they're doing the right thing for you and that they know what they're doing. And anything that they say, they know better than you. So that's what he would do, is he would just like kind of get them into this like very vulnerable place. You're already very vulnerable when you're about to give birth. And so he would get them, have their babies, he would deliver their babies, and then he would just do whatever to their vaginas afterwards, like stitch them up however he wanted. And this is like how he started doing all this. And of course it was without their consent, like we've already said. And it was so gnarly. And women just thought like, oh, that's what childbirth is. Like it's really supposed to be bad and it ruins me. And it's like, no, that's not what's supposed to happen. I think that was like always the misconception. And he just did all this stuff. And he's like, I fixed you, don't worry. And he really was just fucking everything up completely. And again, he was an obstetrician, not a licensed surgeon.
Oh my God. This man was a real Dr. Frankentwat.
Truly.
He's just like fucking creating like these monstrous vaginas that these poor women then when they wake up have to like live with.
Yeah.
And they don't know what happened. That's a fucked up thing, is that like these women would wake up and be like, oh my God, my new vagina after childbirth is a nightmare. I can't do anything. It's like smaller than before somehow. Yeah. I don't even know how this is possible. Everything hurts. I can't have sex anymore, even though it's been like the right amount of time, because this man was fucking with them and they didn't know it.
Yeah. And so all the things that happened to like a lot of the women that he did this to, as you can imagine, had awful, awful effects for most of the women. So the surgeries that he would do caused sexual dysfunction, extensive scarring, chronic infections of the kidney, bladder, and vagina, and the need for corrective surgery in many patients. And this is all according to the Ohio Medical Board, who eventually got wind of this, but not for a very long time. This procedure, any kind of procedure that he did, was not recognized by the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, which is the standard-setting organization for gynecology, and nor was it taught in American medical schools. He just made all this shit up and just did it.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing, because he's like, it's like, if you were actually like a cutting edge scientist or like surgeon and you like had these theories, you would like present them to the board of like a college or something, and with a shit ton of evidence, and you'd be like, this is my theory. I need to, I want to test it. But you would like start small, and you would like, you'd have to come forward with all this information. And then you would have to get willing participants who were like, oh yeah, like this sounds interesting to me. I'll try it or whatever. And then, like it's just, but he was just fucking doing this like basement surgery.
Yep.
It's like the scene in the beginning of Batman.
Which one?
The Michael Keaton one with Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, remember the Joker like falls into the vat of like acid or whatever, and he goes to the surgeon, and the surgeon, it's like a fucking basement in like gross 90s New York City.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like this little Russian dude or something, and he just has all these like rusty instruments out. But he's apologetic. Okay, that guy is apologetic. He's like, I'm so sorry. I did the best I could with what I have. This was bad. Like, things were bad, and I tried, and I'm really sorry, and I tried my best. This guy's like, oh, I did a great job.
Yeah, he was delusional.
You're welcome for your new vagina, man.
Yeah. It was so wild. And so, yeah, he just was going on doing this for so long. And if you're wondering how the fuck this just kept going with no one saying shit, like no colleagues, no nurses, no one in the medical community, no one was saying anything. I mean, I think people were complaining, but it was just kind of swept under the rug. Eventually, like I mentioned before, the Ohio Medical Board was wondering what the fuck was going on as well. So the 80s roll around and women started to sue this guy for malpractice. So everyone was horrified and couldn't believe that no one had said anything.
Well, that's only because he wrote that book.
Right. Well,
in the 70s, right?
In 1975, he wrote this book.
Yeah.
And he admitted in the book that he just did it without their consent.
Yeah.
Which is a huge violation of like every single, like the most basic Hippocratic oath of being a doctor, first do no harm. So but he admitted all this stuff in his book, but he didn't think it was bad. He thought he was like you were saying, like he was doing everybody a favor.
Oh my God.
So, but all these women, once they realized immediately that they were fucked, but they
didn't know why. They didn't know it was like because of this guy, which it was.
Right. They thought it was like something had gone wrong with them and they were, I don't know.
Yeah.
So he was eventually investigated by the board, the Ohio Medical Board, and was also facing several lawsuits eventually in the 80s. And he agreed to stop performing surgery in November of 1988. And remember, he'd been doing this since like the 60s, essentially.
Oh, my God.
And then finally in December of 1988, the board labeled Burt's medical conduct, quote, grossly unprofessional or dishonest, and charged him with 41 violations of ethics or standards. But they didn't take his license. Oh my God. He still had his medical license after all that.
Grossly is an understatement. Because it was fucking gross. What's like a synonym for gross that's like worse? Disgusting.
Disgusting. Yeah. Like just awful. What he ended up doing was surrendering his license, which helped him avoid a hearing before the State Board of Medicine. If he wouldn't have done that and they would have revoked it, he would have had to do this hearing and then he would have had to give a bunch of people would have given testimony and it might have provided evidence against him for whatever lawsuits were pending, but he just basically escaped any kind of punishment for doing this.
That's the worst part to me is that he should have still been held accountable. Just because you're saying that you're not going to practice anymore and you're giving your medical license up or whatever, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be held accountable for everything you've already done. He should have gone to fucking prison.
Yeah, he should have gone to prison. He was hurting people
oh my
terribly.
God. What a fucking ugh.
Well, that was kind of the end, but like before all that happened, he was just like, while this was ongoing, he thought he was doing a great work. Like he really thought he was doing it. And,
he was talking about it to everyone. Fucking probably like the Today Show and shit had him on. Like for, you know what I mean? He was like touring the Today Show circuit and morning show and talk show.
Oh, he was like all in the press, like people before any of this had, come out, like how bad he had mutilated women. Like people were like, this is great. He's doing a great thing for not just men, but women, like this is great. And it's like, nope, that's not what was happening. He wrote medical papers about all this stuff, and he wrote this fucking book, which was like his kind of tell all about it.
Ugh.
And people were like, this is great. In 1975, people were like, this is great. Like, the sexual revolution had happened, and everybody was like on this, like, cool free love wave, and everybody's doing drugs and having sex, and it's just great. A good time.
Which is probably why Playboy like did an article, like he was like featured in Playboy, which means like probably like half invited him out to the grotto. He was probably like he was like living his life. He really was like a little bit of a celebrity and was just like, I'm so smart. Of course I'm so smart. Like,
yep. Yeah,
I knew this was the right thing to be doing.
He was just riding that mediocre white man wave, and just the confidence of this man was unfounded because he was really doing a lot of harm. Yeah, and he like after that Playboy article came out, people got really intrigued by this, and he started growing his reputation and built a very successful practice through the like late 70s, early 80s. And he fully started marketing this surgery as a sexual enhancement surgery, which brought women in who like they were voluntarily like signing up to have this surgery instead of just being like, knocked out and given the surgery after giving birth without consent. So a lot of malpractice lawsuits came through, and it was like it had to happen because like this was not a sustainable thing. Like he just like I said, he had the confidence of out of nowhere just because, and that the levee had to break at some point, and it finally did. I think a nurse came forward at some point, and like who was retiring, which is really sad. She didn't say something while she couldn't really. It sounded like because if she would have come forward to the medical board or to anyone that mattered in the community, she probably would have been fired. So, but and another thing too, like I had said before, he was kind of like getting these women to a point where they were super vulnerable. He would mostly do this surgery to women who didn't have means, who were very, not necessarily, they were just regular people maybe, but they didn't have any connections or didn't have any, they were just like.
They didn't have enough money to get a good doctor.
Right. Well, they didn't have enough money to afford a lawyer.
Yeah.
Or to like raise any kind of they didn't have connections to like they weren't in the community that he would like. They were just regular people, and they didn't have like $1 million, so he would avoid anyone who was like from means or who had a connection to anyone in the medical community or whatever.
Yeah,
he wouldn't fuck with them. So he was doing this to like basically underprivileged, poor, just regular middle class women who had no way of retaliating. Basically, he knew what he was doing was wrong, essentially. So again, so something happened though, because this was not a sustainable thing, and all these lawsuits started tumbling in. He got way too over his skis, and he just really fucked somebody up, and they were like, absolutely not. And the lawsuits started. Like once one person found out that another person had suffered at his hands, it all kind of snowballed from there, and he had all these lawsuits rolling in. So
yeah, and I guess he was somewhat held accountable because he did have to like settle with a lot of these women who came forward and were like, you fucked up my vag. And then part of like the settlement was that he had to pay for their reconstruction because like on their like botched vag. So some opted to do it, but some were like so fucking traumatized because they just were like, no, it's a fucking mess. It hurts. I don't want to go through this again. Who knows if it can even be fixed? Like there's nerve damage and all this shit. And like, I don't even want to do that again. So those poor women just like lived with their messed up flaps because they, that's just, they didn't want to go through the trauma again. And it's like, I don't blame them.
No, it was so bad. And I can only imagine like how your trust and confidence is completely shaken in the medical community after going through something like this. Like I wouldn't want to subject myself to anything, but I don't know. Like it's just so scary and so awful that somebody was just like freely able to be a monster for so long.
Well, and I think it just raises the point of, like we said earlier, just because they're a doctor, like, doesn't mean they're looking out for you or they know all what they're talking about. It does often. I mean, they went to medical school, we don't mean to like discredit or like underplay their like expertise, but also that is to say, go in prepared, ask questions. I ask so many questions, especially before my surgery. I wrote a fucking page of questions.
Oh, I always go in with
you have
notes.
to. Because while they know what they're doing in a lot of capacities, they're not an advocate for you. You have to advocate for yourself. They are so busy. They're seeing 20, 30 people a day, all with different shit, and they don't retain your specific information. So you need to make sure that you're like getting as much information about these people as you can.
And not to mention that each doctor is going into seeing a patient thinking they're a normal, quote unquote, normal case.
Right.
You know the things that are variable about you.
Yeah.
Like X, Y, and Z. That's why they ask you a million questions, but there might be something that your doctor doesn't know about you. Like you have diarrhea when you fucking eat oranges or something that could be, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So they're on a baseline kind of wavelength when they're dealing with patients.
Right.
So that's all that to say, you have to be your own advocate because doctors are truly doing the best they can, but this guy was doing the worst that he could.
On purpose.
It's just like he had such a God complex about his own abilities and the way he thought of women in general. I believe he disliked women.
Yeah.
Had bad experiences doing sex and thought that all women, because of his general experiences, probably were all the same. And let me tell you something. All vaginas are different. It's like a thumbprint or a fingerprint, whatever.
Yeah, it is. They're all different and they're all beautiful and they're all
all the colors of the rainbow.
They're all the colors of the rainbow. And how are you going to tell me that women aren't orgasming because their clitoris is in a bad proximity to their vagina? You ever had one, sir? You ever had an orgasm in a woman's body? Like, you just don't know. So fuck off into space where you belong. Oh, bitch, he's in space.
He is in space, thank God. Or where he's in the ether somewhere because he did. Thank God. Thank God he's dead already because I would murder him. I would kill this man. If he was alive today, I'm glad I don't wish ill.
No, I'm glad he's dead. You can say it. I'm glad he's dead. This guy's a piece of shit.
I'm glad he's dead because I can't go to jail. I have a child. I can't murder this man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
It's for the best.
It's for the best. Oh, God.
Yeah, he died in 2012. Thank God.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Can I read some more quotes from his book?
Yes.
We're pretty much done here, but if you didn't already know this man was a piece of shit that deserved to die, and with the caveat, he died naturally, so it's like, everybody get over it, okay? He deserved to die naturally after he was old in his old age, okay? Which he did, okay? That's what I'm saying. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down, okay? I didn't wish this man harm. He's already dead, so it doesn't matter. But okay, he wrote in his book in 1975 called The Surgery of Love, which we mentioned, that his surgery could turn his female patients into quote unquote horny little mice. And he also claimed that the difference, this is quoted too. He also claimed that, quote unquote, the difference between rape and rapture is salesmanship.
Okay. You see why I'm glad this man is dead.
Yeah.
He was a truly heinous person.
He was heinous. He was grossly, and I cannot accentuate that word enough. He was grossly misinformed.
Oh my God. And can I read just one more quote?
Yeah.
Real quick? It's just to put the cherry on top of this shit Sunday.
Do it.
Bert said this about his wife, who I think he had, like, this was his third wife maybe.
That's suspicious.
Yeah, his wife, who was 25 years his junior, was among his successful patients. Quote, Joan has climaxed in elevators from the Southampton Princess in Bermuda to the Kuilima in Hawaii, he wrote. More than many women do in their entire lives.
She climaxed in an elevator? What? What?
I think she was writhing in pain, sir, from having no clitoral hood to protect her poor, sweet little clitoris.
Oh my God. Also, like, man, she's lying to you so she could get that Gucci bag. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, yep, I climaxed in the elevator again, daddy. Now can I have your credit card? I need to go to Rodeo Drive.
Don't talk about Joan like that. You don't know her life. But if she was, good for her.
I hope she was.
I know. Right.
Who cares? Suck my clitoral hood.
Please don't. I would.
Please don't. Oh my God.
Really prefer this man stay away from any.
Well, I'd rather
part of me.
suck it than cut it off. So
That's
you
true.
know what I mean.
I'd rather not. None of the above. Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
Oh well, this guy was bad at sex and hated women, so he mutilated their genitals to make himself feel better. Fuck.
And now he's dead.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
I'm glad he's not on this planet anymore. Goodbye. We don't need any man like this ever again to exist.
Bye-bye.
This plane of existence.
All right.
Well, I need a drink now after that. That was horrendous. Very sorry to have shared this man and spent any kind of time on him, but you need to know, this is why women are like, this is why we so vehemently need agency over our bodies and not another person to just tell us what is supposed to feel good or is good for us.
Yeah, because you don't know.
You don't fucking know.
Especially if you...
clit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This clit is my clit. This clit's not your clit. So do not touch it, because this is my clit.
Yes, bitch. Love that remix. I love this song.
I just don't understand how men think they understand women's bodies. It's wild to me. Ugh,
crazy.
Blows
crazy
my mind.
times.
I don't. And you know what? This is the difference between men and women. I don't fucking pretend to know what it's like to feel like a man.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. Am I curious? Yeah, because sometimes I'm like, I just wonder what it's like to orgasm outer instead of inner.
That's true.
Well,
that's all I got.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up because
let's get out of here. This is awful, and I think it gave me diarrhea. All right.
Well, have fun. Thank you guys so much. Don't watch cats. Don't give them any money.
No, please don't. But watch the trailer, because that's fine. But make them think they're going to have a great opening. Watch the trailer a ton of times, make fun of it, and then don't go see the movie.
Oh, my God.
Follow us on social medias at DTFU Podcast on all the platforms. Check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/DTFU Podcast. Go listen to the bonus content there. We have that vaginal rejuvenation episode. Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. Lots of
Advocate for
goodies.
yourselves.
Advocate
For yourselves.
We've said it a million times.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta take care of yourself, and it's all part of being excellent to yourself.
Yes, not each other, but also do that as well.
Yeah, be excellent to yourselves.
And each other.
That's right. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
All right. Fare thee well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.